My name is Alech. Welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you basic things that you need to know how to be able to interact with the Langchain and be able to communicate with OpenAI AI using their API. So the first thing we want to do is to create a Python environment, which is not a mandatory thing, but it just makes sense for you to have an environment for each of your projects. It even helps Python to work faster because it knows exactly where all this your project is, because they serve as like a container for each project. So basically this is what you want to do to set up your virtual environment. You just want to say python-django, which is the library that you have to call to create your virtual environment, and then you're going to give your virtual environment a name. So you can just say test_django. You can give it any name you want, and I'm going to press enter. And as you can see, my virtual environment has been created right here. And if you look into this folder, you're going to see a bunch of scripts, include library, script, blah blah blah, and all that. This script is what I need to call to be able to activate my virtual environment that I just created. So I'm just going to go here, and I'm going to go back to my terminal, and I'm going to call the name of this virtual environment that I just created. So I'm just going to say test_venv/script, the script that is contained inside the environment. And you can notice that it ends with s. Take note. So it's just a bit slash, and I'm just gonna say activate. Press enter. As you can see, the prefix in my command line has changed to the name of my virtual environment, which actually signifies that I've actually activated this environment and I am running in this virtual environment that I just created right now. So basically that is completed, and I can begin to do whatever I want. So the next I want to do, I want to create a file, and I'm gonna call, I don't want to put this file inside it. I'm gonna create a file externally, okay, and I'm gonna call this file let's just say chatbot.py. Okay, you can call it whatever you want. Okay, so inside this chatbot, I'm gonna be doing some bunch of stuff, but I need to actually install some dependencies and to be able to run whatever I'm running. So I'm gonna need, since I'm using Langchain for most of my stuff, so it just makes sense for me to pip install. Okay, so I'm gonna do that again. Okay, let me just clear everything right here. Clear. Okay, so I'm just gonna pip install Langchain, okay, and then I'm gonna need to install OpenAI too, and then I'm gonna need to install what else? Yeah, I'm gonna need to install .env. But when you want to install .env in Python, you have to put Python before it. So it's just gonna be python.env. And then I'm gonna say enter. So this python.env is what I'm gonna use to store my variable environment. Okay, so I'm just gonna click on enter, and that should actually install all those stuff for me. It's gonna install Langchain, it's gonna install OpenAI, and then it's gonna install python.env. So while that is going on, so I can actually go and create my environment variable, and I'm gonna call this .env. Okay, so rather than using the word dot, you see I just removed that, and I'm just going to say .env. That's just basically how it works. So inside this .env, this is where you're going to be storing your variables, vital. So there's a big difference between these and this. This is a virtual environment, the one at the top, which is for Python. This is this serves as a container for your main for the project that you're building. But this .env is just like a container for your variables, for your vital variables, things that you don't want people to see, like your password, your API keys, your different stuff like that 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 you cannot share with other people. Those are the things that you're gonna put in your .env. So now I'm gonna do my OpenAI _API _key. OpenAI _API key, that's gonna be equals to whatever that I don't know right now. So that is just how you put stuff inside your variables in your environment, your variable environment. So I'm not gonna go to my script, and then I'm gonna import OS, and then I'm gonna import from the .env that I just installed. I'm gonna import load.env, and then I'm gonna load this as a function. So I just called the function now. So this function that I just called now for .env is gonna call everything inside this .env file. It's gonna call it and make them available in my script. Okay, so right now, for instance, let's just say I have my OpenAI key, so I can just say, now let me go and create my OpenAI key. Okay, so to create my OpenAI, I'm just gonna go to openai.com. As you can see, we have these guys nodding their heads right here. They're doing great stuff. Oh my god, I want to be like them. So you want to log in with whatever means you want to log in with. I usually use my Google, but I'm just gonna pause that and log in and all that. So once you log in, it's gonna take you here. ChatGPT DALL-E is actually used for their images. If you want to use their image, their image API, that is when you use DALL-E. I'm sure everybody, even if you live under the rock, by now you should know what ChatGPT is. Okay, so this is where we are concerned with this API. That is what we want to use. So we're gonna click on the API. Okay, so when you get to this place, you're gonna see a bunch of stuff, but this is where you really want to go. You want to go to your account. Okay, and then you're gonna click on your account, and then you're gonna go through the drop down list. And you have to look for the one that says view API keys, and this is where you are going to come, and you're gonna click on view API keys. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna delete this one right now. Okay, to delete, you're just gonna say revoke, and so I'm gonna create a new key. So I'm just gonna say new key right here. I can name it whatever I want, so I'm just gonna say test API key, and I'm gonna say create secret key. Okay, now I have created this key for a project, but before you click on done, make sure you copy, because once you click on done, you're never gonna see that full key again. So I've copied it, and then I can click on done. As you can see, this is how it's gonna remain for the rest of its life. You're never gonna see the full key anymore. So I'm just gonna now go back to my project, and then I'm gonna go to my .env file, and I'm gonna paste the key right there, and the key is gonna be right there, sitting like no man's land. And then I'm gonna go back to my script, and then I'm gonna try to retrieve the key. So basically, I'm just gonna say OpenAI key. I'm just trying to create any variable. OpenAI key is just gonna be OS. This is the OS I just imported. So I'm gonna say os.get env. So it's just gonna be in tuple. So this is just like a function, like a .env, another .env function that you call when you want to get your variable. So I'm just gonna say I'm gonna get it as a string. So whatever name that you have named your file inside the .env file is what you're gonna call. So I can just copy this file name, my key name. I'm just gonna copy it, okay, and I'm just gonna go here and I'm gonna paste it in here. Okay, so this is going to actually get the value for me, whatever the value is. So if I come here and then I say print OpenAI, okay, print OpenAI, and then I run the script, you see it has printed my keys for me. If you want to check, you can see it ends with 2SJC. If we go back in here, see 2SJC. So Now that is working, so I basically can even just reassign. I can just say LLM equals OpenAI key just to confirm. I can then print LLM just to make sure I'm on the same save, and then I can print. I can see that's my LLM, which is OpenAI key. So my key is settled, so I can then go to Langchain. You can go to Langchain. Usually when you get to Langchain, it's going to take you to the first page like this, and then where you want to go is that you want to go to their documentation. So if we go to docs, the docs is going to take you to this place, and usually you want to go to quick start, so the quick start is going to actually show you some basic things that you can do, and it's going to tell you to install Langchain, which we have done already, install OpenAI, which we have done already, and then it's going to tell you to call your key, OpenAI key, which we have done, and then we want to, from langchain.llms import OpenAI. We have done that. This is just to initialize our key, but which we have done, so we don't need to go through this process. So if we come to this place, from langchain.llms import OpenAI, we have already done that. Okay, so we don't need this step. So the second step is from langchain.chatModels import chat model. Okay, inside the chat model you are going to need the LLM, which is the key that you have just done. We already have the key, so we only need this chat model to be able to do whatever they want us to do. So we can just copy this. Okay, we can just copy this, go into our project, paste it there. So this is going to go from langchain.chatModels, then we're going to import our chat model. Okay, so what do we do with this chat model? They're going to tell us. Okay, so we're going to, in this chat model, we're just going to say that chat model equals chat model, which is the function that we just invoked right here. Okay, so we're now going to create a variable that is going to be that's going to be assigned to it. Okay, so we then can now say, this place we already have our LLM, so we don't need this process. So we're just going to say LLM.predict whatever we want it to predict, and then we can then run our chat model like by saying chat model.predict I. So it's going to say that to us. So we can then try that. Let's try that and let's see if it works. So we can say, hold on 1 second, let's just see. It looks like we are running two things together right here. Okay, so first of all, let us assign our chat model to our to what the function that we just called right there. Alright, so we have this chat OpenAI, so we're just gonna say chat model equals chat OpenAI as a function. So we call that function. So we have our chat model running. So now they say we should say LLM, because we have our LLM already, that predict whatever we want to predict. Let's just say hi, and then we then say chat model dot what? Let's just go find out what it's saying. Chat model dot predict hi. So we're basically just saying the same thing right there. So we can just go back and say chat model dot predict hi. Okay, and then we can run our stuff. As a matter of fact, we can just say this is equal to chat. Okay, so I can print chat. Okay, save, print. So basically we are looking for this to return hi according to what Langchain document says. So yeah, sometimes it's slow because now we are calling OpenAI's API, so the speed would depend on what the different things right now. So as you can see, it's returning an error. LLM.predict string object has no attribute predict. Okay, we're gonna find out what's going on with that. Chat equals chat model dot. Okay, hold on. Let's see what they asked us to do right there. Alright guys, so I found out that we are getting the string problem, and the attribute has no string attribute error because of the way we have actually defined our LLM. So we have to follow the Langchain principle. I mean, the way they want us to do it, you have to follow it religiously before you can get the results. So basically, this is how we're going to actually define our LLM. So we're going to import our LLMs from the Langchain LLMs. We're going to import OpenAI. So I'm just going to do the same right here in our project. So I can just say from Langchain.LLMs, we're going to import OpenAI. Remember that we have installed OpenAI, so that is why it's going to work. And then we're now going to call this OpenAI as function. So we can just say LLM equals OpenAI that we have just, imported, and then we're going to call it as a function. And then again, for the chat OpenAI, we're going to also call that as a function too. So I can remove this. Alright, so we are able to do this because we have actually loaded all our environments using load.env. If without this, it's not going to work, because there's nothing that's going to connect our script to our .env. But because we have loaded everything right in this script, that is why this function calls here are able to fetch the value of the OpenAI key into this function call. So that is why it is working. So right now we have our LLM, then we have our chatbot, and if you want to be sure, you can print and then check the LLM. You see that load.env has done a great job by allowing those functions to be able to interact with our .env file. As you can see, it's working so fine. So there's nothing to predict right now other than just whatever stuff. It's just assuming. So I'm just gonna create a text right now. So I'm just gonna say text equals I am so happy today. I want 1 million. Okay. Okay, so now that's the text. So we can then now say that LLM dot predict. Okay, predict text. Okay, so that is just like an initial prompt, and then we're then gonna say chat model dot predict. Now predict text too, which is the same thing that they're gonna do, and then we can print nothing. If we print nothing, we're just gonna get nothing right now. So now let's see what it returns back. Okay, so basically I need to just assign a variable here, so I can just say chat equals this, so I can then print chat, as you can see. I'm just gonna print that and just gonna see the prediction. So yep. Okay, so that's it. That's wonderful. Congratulations on your big win. How do you plan to celebrate or use your newfound fortune? How do I want to spend $1 million? Maybe buy a house. Buy a house worth like 300k, and then 700k. Get some business to do, and have some fun, and some charities. Oh my gosh, I don't know. I hope that is true. Alright, so now we have those predictions. What if I tell you that I was lying? What would you predict? I was lying. So what would you now then predict? It's crazy though. Okay, he's gonna be disappointed. That's alright. Is there something you would like to talk about or clarify? Okay, that's cool. It takes it with a good mind. That's a nice chatbot or AI. Okay, so now we can move on to the next thing. What else do they say? Well, it's gonna predict the text. We just did that though. Okay, and we just predicted the text. So basically, that is how you begin to formulate your prompt, and then you can, when you're using the prompt template, as you can see, this is where you do most of your work and all that. So we can, let me see where we can get it more. Okay, this is the more serious one. This is more likely like what you're gonna be doing in your most projects. You're gonna be working with all these prompts. So you can just say from Langchain.prompt.chat, import these three, and then you can then assign the variables to it, and your text we're gonna be text whatever, and then we can actually try doing this actually. So basically this is what we're going to do. So we're just gonna say we're gonna import three things. Okay, so we can just say from Langchain dot prompt dot chat. Okay, we can just import three things. We have to put them in a tuple: human prompt template, system prompt templates, and then what else? Human prompt template, system prompt template, and then we have the prompt template, right? We have the chat prompt templates. Okay, chat prompt templates. I think it's gonna be chat prompt template, not chat prompt message template. It's gonna be chat prompt, not chat message. It's gonna be chat prompt template. So now we're just gonna how to use this. We can go down here and then say we can just set our variables. So we can just say we can start with a system prompt template. Okay, so we can look at how we can assign that. As you can see, if we want to start assigning this, it's just gonna be system prompt. You can call it anything you want though. So usually before you can assign these things, you're just gonna be dot from templates. As you can see, everything's gonna be dot from template. This one too dot from templates, as you can see. So you can then now call it whatever you want to call it. So basically, I'm just gonna say usually this is what they do. You're gonna create a template first for the system, and then you're just gonna say you are a lovely assistant. You're a lovely assistant that offers good moral advice. Is it advice? C-E or S? It should be C-E, I guess. Right, I'm not native, as you can tell. So inside this is just gonna be, to assign this, we can just say system, you can call it anything you want, system template equals the system template that we just imported dot from templates, and then you can just put in the template that you just wrote. You can just say template equals template, or you can just say template. So now we can then do the human template too. Human template is going to be human whatever that we just imported dot from templates too. From templates, and what else do we want to say? We can just call it text. Okay, so I'm gonna bring this text right here. Let us start with a good note. need ideas on next vacation spots or places. Okay, so that's going to be my text. So this human template is going to capture that, and then we're going to have what else? We're going to have let's look at Langchain. We have our human message prompt, which is equal to text. Right, so this place we could have actually broken it down to 2 human templates. Wow. Look at the way they did this text actually. The text is actually in object. So we can I get you, I understand. So I understand. So while we did this, we still have to actually put it in another variable. Okay, I don't know why. So we still have to put it in another variable to make it okay, all this is gonna throw error because we took it right from the top to the bottom, and then there's nothing for them to call because codes are in blocks, they run in blocks. It has to be from top to bottom. Okay, so what we do here, we created our object right here, so we need something that is gonna point to it. So we can just say human template equals text as a text. As you can see, you put this object inside a string. They put it inside a string so as to signify that it's gonna be a string text. Okay, so I'm not gonna put this here inside the prompt. So I'm not gonna go back to the human. I can now say human template. Sorry, this is gonna be human template, and this is gonna be human template prompt, whatever I want to call it. And then I'm gonna drop this one here because this is what actually stringifies this object. So I'm gonna drop this one, right? Human template right here. So that is basically how they want us to structure that. And then if we go back to this documentation, and then what else do we need to do? Chat prompt. Did we import this? Chat prompt equals chat prompt template dot from message equals system. Okay, and then this is gonna grab this too. Okay, it's gonna grab this too, and then we're then gonna format whatever we want to format. Okay, so this is gonna print. So let's just try what we have so far. So this is chat prompt, the third one that we imported, which is the chat prompt template, is going to format the whole thing together. So we can just say template results equals chat prompt template dot from. Do we still need to use dot from messages? Chat prompt dot from message. Okay, we still have to do that. Okay, so this is different. You see, this ones are from dot from template, but this one is from dot messages. Okay, so then we're gonna put them in array. It's gonna be an array. Okay, so don't forget that. So these two templates are from dot from templates, and this is gonna be dot from messages. Okay, and then we have our tuple. Inside our tuple, we're gonna have this array, which is gonna contain the system template and the the human templates. Okay. no, sorry, it's gonna become human template prompt, actually. Yeah, human template prompt. Okay. So I think I can print this right now. Print template results. So let's see what we have so far. So we say that I need ideas on next vacation places, and then we have instructed the system to be, you are a lovely assistant that offers good moral advice. Okay, so we can run this and let's see what advice we get. Okay, now we have a mother of error right here. Okay, so what's the problem right here? So we're just saying that input variable, text, output process, blah blah blah. Partial variable, you are a lovely assistant that offers templates. So basically it looks like this is just going to print out. Is this error? Let me see. When they run this, what happened on there? Okay, I think we missed a step. This place we're supposed to actually do this chat dot format messages, and then we're gonna say input language English, output language whatever text that we want them to work on. So let's just go do that right here. Now we go back to our project, and then we can just say that template results dot format messages. Okay, and then we're gonna have it in a tuple. Do we have an array again? No. Okay, then we're gonna have a template input language equals English, output language equals whatever, and then we can pass our test. Okay, so this our text at the top does not do anything. Okay, so now we're just gonna say input language equals English. Okay, output underscore language equals, let's just say English for now. Okay, right, and now we can say our text equals I love programming. Okay, so what's gonna happen here? Right, so if we say, let's just call this results. So we can just say print results, and let's see what happens here. You are a lovely assistant that offers good moral advice. Additional humor, I love programming. Okay, example equals false. Okay, so this actually gives us exactly what we have put in. Now this is not what we want. Okay, looking at their website too, that's exactly what they wanted to return to us. So it is just like a verbose, something that shows you exactly what is going on under the hood. As you can see, this is what it returned on their website too. It's gonna give us content. You are a full assistant, blah blah blah. Additional quarks, human message is gonna be content. I love programming, and that is exactly what we have here too in our program. You know, in content, you are lovely, blah blah blah. Additional quarks, human message. I love programming. So this is just to show us what is actually happening under the hood. And yeah, because I was hoping to run it, that's something that I'm gonna get a much more response. So now let's look at how we can actually even get something much more conversational. Okay, and we have this human message. Okay, you are a helpful whatever that you are. Okay, now this is what we're gonna be having this chain. This is what we're gonna be actually needing to use to run the chain conversation. So in my next video, I'm actually going to be making a chatbot, how you can make a real chatbot and using Langchain so that we can actually use their chain. Okay, alright, so right now let's just, this video is just to give us the basic of how we can basically work with Langchain, and then as you can see, it's not that hard. Everything is pretty much there. You just copy and paste and then put it in your VS Code and everything runs. That's it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon.